afternoon, Facebook friends and family. It's another edition of Neighborhood Spotlights. I am your hostess with the mostest, Chad Double D Levine, aka the Superstar Lender, and the realtor always sporting the finest of reds, Miss Christina Swain from the Opus Elite Squad, all over the world, global. How can we do global? Opus Global.
Global. Yeah, we could. We can do whatever we want to do.
How are you today there, my fine
I am
friend?
Wonderful.
You are wonderful. Can you enlighten us? Is there anything particular that's making you wonderful?
Yeah, I got 2 houses under contract this week and put a new one on the market. Like things are popping.
You are en fuego.
Yeah.
All right. And so I am going to tell everyone I am off location today. I'm in the beautiful sunny Florida, which it is not. I came down a couple days early, had originally planned coming Thursday, but we heard there was a Category 1 hurricane, so we decided to just fly in early and catch the hurricane in full force. How does that sound?
Yeah, I don't quite understand that, but okay. You got a new job as a storm tracker.
I am a storm tracker.
I totally wanted you to be outside with your cell phone next to the bent over palm tree, like on the Weather Channel or something.
Wouldn't that be funny?
That would be. I think we might have to do that at the end.
Yeah, I'm going to do my best. I'll try and chase the lightning, as they say.
All right. I just want to see you next to the bed over palm tree in the pouring rain. That's all.
So we're excited about our guest today. This particular business is one of the cornerstones of the Main Street Langhorne community, directly on Maple Avenue. Coffee shop. The modern day coffee shop has become, I think, the meeting house for many communities now.
Yeah, and they're also saying, I've also read this, that houses near coffee shops will sell for more.
Interesting.
People want to drop their kids off at school, grab coffee, and go to work. So, and I guess it also stands true that most coffee shops will go to more affluent areas. Mm-hmm. So that could also be part of the correlation because, you know.
It makes sense. I mean, it's it's interesting when you think about it. Like, it's like almost like the community meeting place anymore, you know?
Yeah. I mean, everybody has the Wi-Fi. You meet for a business meeting. You can do everything at a coffee shop. And they even serve breakfast there and lunch.
Yeah. So I want to I think we should bring him right on because I'm excited.
All right.
I've never spoken to a true barista. So this is exciting to me. I don't know if it's a barista or barista bro. I don't know what you say, but we're going to find out. But I'm going to let you give the intro as you do for your Langhorne peeps.
All right. Without further ado, here is Tim James with the Langhorne Coffee House shop. Langhorne Coffee House, technically, right?
Yes.
I just always say Langhorne Coffee. I'm like, oh, Langhorne Coffee.
Tim, thank you for being on our show. So let's start off with using the right terminology. Is it a barista? Is barista? Barista.
Yes,
okay.
Sir.
A barista. And tell us, let's get right into this because aside from the business part of this, I want to learn there is an art to coffee. No?
There definitely is. From roasting, sourcing the beans, which is a terrible nightmare in and of itself, which is handled for us by Covered Bridge Coffee Roasters down the street, this location, and by the great boys over at La Colombe for our location in Humeville.
Nice.
So that's handled by them, and they do all the roasting, which is very technically challenging and difficult. And then we have to manage, time, temp, water, pressure here to get you a good cup of coffee.
Wow. So it's all that. It's like all that involved.
It's not just like put some coffee grinds in and pour the water in and.
No, like and when you lose a unit or a piece of equipment, you're talking to someone in Italy and you're waiting 6 weeks for parts. So you've got to have, 2 or 3 $15,000 machines just sitting around waiting to be used in the event you might need them in the future.
Wow.
Okay. So first of all, I got to tell you, Tim, I'm super excited to talk about this because to me, the coffee shop has become the cornerstone of Main Street. Like it's almost taken over for I don't even know what. It's like it's just since I guess I mean I hate to pay respects. I hope this doesn't make you puke, but let me pay respects to a Starbucks.
They're the market leader. You can't bash the market leader too much.
I mean, for at least revolutionizing what it is, and you know, it's funny because now that you've provided a common meeting space, as long as the coffee is good, I guess you have perfect ingredients, right?
You definitely do. And Langhorne Coffee House has been here for 40 years.
What?
40th year next
Wow.
year. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
So I was gonna say it was funny when you said that. I was like, oh, so did Ben Franklin have coffee there? I was like, no, it's not.
No. Don't say that.
The building was built in the 1760s, so you never know.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, I tell you, the more I learn about Langhorne, I never gave it the appreciation it deserved from a historical perspective. I will tell you that. So tell us about you, where you grew up. Give us the connection to Langhorne and Bucks County, and then let's get more into these beans.
Okay. I have been in Bucks County pretty much the entirety of my life. Born and raised just outside of Newtown. Moved to Warminster. I took a 10-year detour to Delaware County. Met my wife, kidnapped her, brought her back to Bucks County. And then, I've owned a bunch of different small businesses. I've worked in some corporate environments and settings. And a couple years ago, I was sitting at the hotel right across the street here, built in the 1706. And I decided I don't want to do this anymore, this traveling and flying. And, every day you're on the road. And the coffee house was for sale across the street. And I made a decision and bought it then.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dude. Kudos to you for your cojones. I got to give it to you. I don't know, that had to take some real serious coffee beans, for lack of a better.
It's not as many as surviving the pandemic a few months later.
Oh yeah.
2019 was not an eady time to get into small business ownership.
True.
Well, that's when you bought. Did you know anything about the coffee business at all?
I had worked in food and culinary
Okay.
and had overseen schools that did
Okay.
training in culinary and foods, but not in coffee. I've never operated a coffee house. My first job was at the Aramingo Diner in Philadelphia. So
yeah, they serve good pie.
They did serve very good pie. I worked at bakery in the overnights, and I worked the late shift bus and tables.
Okay, so you got a little bit of idea versus me coming in. I'm like, I don't know what's going on here.
Yeah, but something tells me you would try it. I feel like you're the type of person, Christina.
I figured it out. Yeah.
Christina literally, Tim, she literally called me one day. She's like, I'm gonna buy a Vespa, and the next day she's like, look, I got a Vespa. Now she hasn't really driven it much, but we're hoping that.
Hey, I've driven around Langhorne a few times. Get out.
Did you?
Yes.
All right. How'd it go?
I've seen a Vespa in town, and now I know where it's coming from.
Yes. Red Vespa. It's me.
She likes to make a statement wherever she goes. So maybe Christina, if you keep going, they'll name a coffee drink after you. What do you think of that?
There we go. Something red.
Something with high energy.
Yeah.
All right. So I want to get more into coffee. I got to figure this out. So you take over this place. 40 years old. So as you take it over, is it already popping? Did you have to do a lot of work? What'd you have to do to take over?
No, I think we just had to make some changes on the menu, work with the team here. It's tough when you buy something that has a dedicated following and dedicated fans because they will shred you in an instant. I think one of my first reviews on Google after I purchased the business was, I haven't eaten here in years, but I heard there's a new owner. I hope he doesn't screw it up.
That's a review?
Yeah, that was a review. Yeah. Google reviews are so helpful sometimes. So, that's the thing. When you buy a business that's already existing, you got to find a way not to break it, and find the weak spots, make a few improvements. And as long as you got a good team, it can work.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because you learn it's such a good mix of service and product, right? Mm-hmm. And you really can't slouch in either one, especially, I think people have become coffee snobs. I think America has become coffee snobs. Yeah. They want to have the service and the coffee at the same time. I mean, I personally, I avoid the cheap coffee anymore. And I'll tell you this much, Tim, I will give you guys mad props because now having had a good cup of coffee and trying that other Dunkin' Wawa crap, I mean, it's like,
you definitely have two audiences. You've got Dunkin' Wawa group, and then you got the Starbucks group, and never the twain shall meet. And you do your best to, get the right beans and the right blends that can satisfy the entire audience rather than, picking too hard one side or the other.
All right, and I'm gonna ask some random questions if that's cool with you.
Sure. Go ahead.
What is the most number of cups of coffee you've seen one human drink in one day? Now?
Oh no, we've had some folks. It's not the number of coffees; it's the number of shots. We've had a regular who likes to come in and get 6 to 8 shots of espresso. We've seriously considered calling his cardiologist.
I've never had espresso. I'm going to have to try this. I didn't know you could buy shots of espresso.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Are you kidding me?
You know me and my health stuff, Chad. I don't drink that much caffeine.
There's no calories in espresso. You just don't put anything in it.
It's caffeine. It raises
It's
your
the best way to
sugar.
drink it. It's the purest way to drink it.
So wait, 7 shots?
Yes.
I'm gonna have to try this. Chad, you want to go do shots one day?
No, Christina, you don't understand. 7 shots of espresso.
I don't. I didn't try one yet.
It's like taking a shot to your veins of like straight amphetamine. I don't even.
A shot of espresso is about 85 milligrams of caffeine, whereas a normal traditional cup of coffee is between 150 and 180.
Wow.
So when you start doing double shots and you start having 6 or 7 or 8, you're.
So wait, have you ever had to cut somebody off from espresso?
Not yet. Not yet. We try. The customer's always right.
Yeah, it's true.
We just don't have to worry about calling emergency medical services.
Especially if he wants to foam at the mouth.
That was so corny.
Okay. All right. So give us the scoop. What's the number one sellers there? Give us a coffee rundown.
Let's see. The question is which location. In Humeville, there's a huge demand for lavender lattes.
Lavender latte.
Lavender latte. If you've never had a lavender latte, it will just completely open your eyes.
Huh.
Because it's a beautiful floral scent, very green. It's very good. It's very good. And then here in Langhorne, it is the monkey blended. And people will fight over that. It's peanut butter, chocolate sauce, cold brew, and it's done in a frozen style. So we mix it with some ice and run it through the blender, and it's
sounds like dessert.
It's a whole meal. The amount of peanut butter that's in there. I mean, if you're working out, you're trying to get your protein, and you like peanut butter, man, this is your drink. This is definitely your drink.
Wow. That is definitely. So how many varieties would you say, just like a rough idea, varieties could you have? Yeah.
Oh, I don't know if I can do math like that, Chad. I'm looking around for a drink menu now. It's a lot of drinks, a lot of different menu items. Yeah.
All right, and so give us the food stuff because Christina's lame and only eats grilled chicken and egg whites. So come in.
They made me plenty of veggie omelets there.
Here's our drink menu. Oops, let me get it without a glare. There we go. That's just one location. We worked hard to keep the 2 locations separate because they are distinct groups, 2 different historical boroughs with their own background and history and fans. So we try to keep the menus separate. We try to keep the drinks separate. We try to keep the food separate. Here in Langhorne, it's pretty much a small diner. So it's eggs, it's pancakes, it's waffles, it's French toast, it's sandwiches, it's salads, it's the veggie omelet that Christina likes.
I love my veggie omelet over there.
So it's a huge menu. It's a 4-page menu, probably 12-point font.
What?
Yeah, it's.
Was it always like that, or you did that?
It was probably 3, and we every time we try to remove things from the menu, you end up adding more. I find so. Yeah, so it's we've added a few things, we've taken a few things off, retired a few items. We got some new items coming on this year. shortly. We're going to run them through our specials. Every week we run a different group of specials to try to figure out which ones are the most popular, and then add them full time in the menu. So we're gonna figure out which ones work best, and then maybe retire a few. Down at our Johnson Hall location in Humeville, the setup there is more like a Starbucks. Not you. I don't know if I have to do a little TM.
Nah, you're good.
Using the name. But it's very spacious. It seats probably 80 people.
Wow.
And they've got a huge coffee business. Food there is predominantly sweeter items. We do a Liege waffle, which is a yeast risen waffle that people absolutely will line up for days. It's amazing.
Wait, what's this waffle?
It's called a Liege waffle.
Liege,
yes. It's Dutch. It's a yeast risen dough. It's let to sit overnight, so it ferments and it gets additional flavor, similar to what you might find in a sourdough.
Okay.
Slow fermenting bread. And then it's mixed with pearl sugar, which is sugar that's in granules about that big.
Wow.
And what happens is the sugar granules melt in contact with the yeast and with the mix, but also from the heat. And it kind of forms like a crystallized sugar coating over the whole waffle. It's crazy good.
Can you put on some Barry White here, Jason? I feel like I'm in the mood. That sounds amazing.
I wanted to set up two cameras so I could speak to you from both locations.
We can do Humeville. In fact, if you're offering that Liege waffle, I can do the Humeville show live on.
We
on
could go over there. We have good Wi-Fi because that's what you need at a coffee house.
Oh man. So this is, dude, I got to tell you, Tim, it sounds like you're doing way more than just the typical coffee house, which is awesome. Yeah. And, so what's your plans to expand? Where do you see this going?
Well, we got Langhorne Coffee House. We got Johnson Hall. We had some rough months ahead of us, I think, in the economy. So right now the plan is just to pause a little bit and give the teams time to, knit themselves together and get stable. And then after that, we probably want to do a greenfield expansion or something to a slot that has never had coffee there before.
Cool.
I've got people asking me about Ben Salem. I've got people asking me about Southampton. All those are within easy striking territory, distance from us here. The more locations we have, the greater economies of scale you see with food costs, management costs, labor costs. So.
Well, I'll tell you what, man, for someone that never did it before, you're rocking out.
We're trying our hardest.
You're a rock. Go ahead, Christina. I'm sorry. I felt like I just took 7 shots of espresso. Listen to talk about that.
You always have 7 shots of espresso in you. You're way beyond me. But no, one of my questions was, now I'm having a senior moment over here. I forgot it though. Thanks, Chad. You made me. Now I forgot what I was going to say.
All right. Well, then I'm going to follow it up with: have you had any marriage proposals there?
Here, we definitely have. I'm not
sure that wasn't so random.
Is that you just want to officiate a wedding? That's why you're asking.
No, but I feel like, look, this is what's intriguing to me. Aside from the actual food and the drink, it's the social piece. It's like everyone comes there to meet, like at these coffee shops, right?
Yeah.
So what boggles my mind is like the types of human interaction. Like, I know it sounds weird, but like it's business meetings, it's social outings, it's first dates.
A lot of cops, a lot of police officers.
Oh yeah, the Langhorne location is usually staffed by 2 or 3 police officers from a borough someplace.
Really?
Yeah.
Middletown comes and they'll come over. Langhorne Manor.
Wow.
Yeah. Humeville occasionally, yeah.
Yeah. Can you give us any famous people that may have stopped in?
Famous people that may have stopped in. Well, George Washington. This was a hospital during the Revolutionary War after the Battle of Trenton.
Wow.
180 soldiers buried about a block away.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so they use this as a sort of a staging ground and headquarters. The hotel, another building across the street here. A couple of houses here in town. Beyond that,
nobody else famous comes to Langhorne.
I will tell you, Matt Arlen from the Ned Cigar Shop in Newtown. He's famous. He's like an icon in the Newtown Main Street community. He just shouted you out.
I did it.
Yeah, I don't know if you ever been to a cigar shop in Newtown?
I have not been to that cigar shop now.
Yeah, you got to check it out. He's the man. He is, to me, he's got just as much flavor as the cigars. The guy is cool as hell.
Nice.
He just gave you a shout out. So I feel like a lot of people know your spot, and that's a good thing. And this is cool. What's the place in Humeville called?
Humeville is the Johnson Hall Coffee House.
The Johnson Hall Coffee House. Now I'm guessing there is some history there too.
Johnson Hall is the name of the building that it's in. And the owners who built it and designed it originally were thinking about buying Langhorne Coffee House back in 2018 and 2019.
Wow.
They did, and they found a different building down there and a better opportunity, so they decided to build it there, but decided to build a coffee shop, on the first floor, similar to what was here. They thought it'd be a great anchor for the business, and it's something that they were passionate about. And so that's why the names are so similar: Langhorne Coffee House and the Johnson Hall Coffee House.
Oh, that makes sense.
Wow. I always wondered if that location did good, like driving past.
It does great. On Pico's AADL map for the average annual driver levels, 15,000 a day on Maple and 15,000 a day on that Trenton Road, Humeville axis.
Okay.
Wow. 2 points there, it crosses over into Chamonix. So from a location perspective, it's great. Signage is a little bit of a challenge, but we get the traffic. People.
Yeah, I think once the word gets out locally, with coffee shops, it's all, I would say, more local than anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Everybody's got their little spot they like to go to.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool, man. Well, I'll tell you what, I learned a lot. I think maybe we can even do some coffee making one day. I got to learn the art. I'm not going to become a barista. If the interface is going like this, do you have any positions available? And
we're hiring right now, in fact. Yeah. So, if you come on down to Johnson Hall in Humeville, we'll show you how to pour the perfect shot, how to measure it out, teach you how to use the grinder.
Did you ever think of doing like a for publicity? Here's my publicity thoughts: like a Langhorne coffee versus a Humeville coffee or Johnson Hall coffee.
So we've got a couple people. We got a girl managing our social media down there, and I'm managing the social media here. So we are working on a few battles coming up. Yes,
that would be awesome, because I'd be like, okay, I'm used to drinking Langhorne. Let me see if I can guess which one's which.
It's really funny. I didn't think that we had a lot of crossover between the two businesses.
Yeah,
I was far enough away. It's really not that far theoretically, but I figured there would be enough cultural, geographical boundaries.
That's what I would think.
And day after I purchased it, I'm walking through the parking lot and I see a couple of my regular customers from Langhorne who immediately look guilty.
Cheating on you.
And they're like, and they say to me, "What are you doing here?" And then it happened the second day, and it happened the third day, and it happened the fourth day. So now it's just fun.
That's funny.
They don't realize they're not cheating on you.
Not cheating anymore. No, they're fine now.
And I don't know if you caught this, Tim, but according to Christina, it is a scientific fact that a home's proximity to a coffee shop increases its value. So
I love that, and I think the residents of both Langhorne Borough and Humeville Borough love that too.
Yeah, so. I think Christina, from now on, anytime you get listings in the area, you should be quoting the distance to either coffee shop.
Should be, but because they came out with the study. I was not the one who invented this study. I did just recently read it, and I think I used it in some of my content, that if you live closer to a coffee shop, your house value tends to be higher.
Pretty dope. I think we should test it out. Maybe we should say you're 5 steps from the coffee shop. Have you ever considered selling? What do you think of that?
Yeah, I'll start handing out flyers. You want to sell your house is worth more.
Well, I think I'm about to go chase some storms in Florida. I think I've had my fill of coffee talk. Tim, coffee talk.
Coffee talk.
What do you think of that? We get Christina. What do you think we should host a Langhorne coffee talk?
Yeah, we should. But you got to come over here in person. Ooh. And we got to go in person and do like shots or something.
Langhorne coffee talk. I like that.
All right. If you guys want to meet me in Humeville at 3:30, maybe not today because
I was going to say, wait. I'm not about today.
Well, Tim, it was a pleasure. Everyone out there, if you're in the Bucks County area, take the trip to Langhorne Coffee Shop or Johnson Hall Coffee Shop. With more locations to come, you are I'm going to come up with a term, a coffeepreneur. I don't know. We're going to figure it out. Coffeepreneur. I like that one. Christina, that's it. I'm done. What you got left, kid? Are you good?
Got nothing left.
All right. Tim, any other parting words? How can people reach you? Is it langhornecoffeeshop.com?
LanghorneCoffeehouse.com or johnsonhall.coffee are our web addresses. Obviously, you can get us on social media pretty easily, and we do a lot of our communicating on social. So it's a good way to reach us and a good way to see what we're up to and what's going on in both of these beautiful historic towns.
Awesome. Well, we thank you for your time. What were you going to say? I cut you off.
I got to go make some soup.
Yeah, go make some soup, and I'm going to go chase some storms.
All right.
And everyone have a wonderful day. And if I'm alive next week, I'll see you here, same time, same channel. Peace.
See ya.